You read it right. A tea, not an herbal tea, but a tea that actually tastes naturally like cream without having to add any milk or sugar or whatever to it. This tea is called milk oolong tea. The Chinese name is Jinsuan, and it originates from Taiwan. It's been around since the 80s, and the way they get that cream flavor from the tea is actually through the natural processing of the specific cultivar of tea leaf that they use. So a lot of people don't know this about tea, but tea is a very diverse plant. You can do a lot of things with tea. You can get a lot of different types of flavors out of the tea leaf. Most of the tea drunk in the world is from the same species of plant, Camellia sinensis, right? With that one leaf, depending on the way that you oxidize it, the time that you harvest it, the place where you grow it, the weather conditions for that particular year, it's like wine in that sense. It will taste vastly different from teas that were processed other ways and at different times. So this particular tea is an oolong tea, which means that it's semi-oxidized. Oxidation is when, let's say you take a bite of an apple and that bite mark turns brown after you leave it on the table. That's oxidation. Tea leaves do the same thing, except we don't bite tea leaves, right? What we do is we bruise them. So we roll them, and after leaving them out, they will start to oxidize because of the bruising that occurred from the rolling. The enzymes in the tea leaves are very responsive to the oxidation process, and it's through that process that we get either black tea, which is fully oxidized tea, so they let it oxidize as much as possible, or oolong tea, which is a semi-oxidized tea. It's a big category because you can have many levels of oxidation within the oolong category. Milk oolong tea is about 15 to 20% oxidized. However, it is the specific cultivar of tea leaf that really adds to its ability to develop that cream flavor through the oxidation process. And a lot of the best milk oolongs are grown at high elevations, which also helps bring out those milky tones more. So I'm going to brew it today. I've been drinking it all day, actually. This is called the Gaiwan. I'm brewing it the traditional Chinese style, but you can absolutely use a regular loose leaf tea strainer like this one here, if you have one at home. So the temperature of water I like to use is about 90 degrees Celsius. What is that in Fahrenheit? That's about 195 degrees Fahrenheit. Not quite boiling, almost there, but about 10 degrees below boiling in Celsius. These leaves have already been steeped about 10 times already, so they're not going to give you the same color as they would have had it been only the second or third infusion. But you'll get an idea here. Now, since it's the 11th infusion right now, I believe, I'm going to let it sit for maybe another 10-15 seconds. I normally wouldn't have let it sit that long because with Gong Fu style brewing, it's very fast. So you use more leaf with faster infusions. And the effect is a very full flavor profile without the bitterness that sometimes tea imparts. This here is my, it's called the sharing cup or decanter. And it's mainly if you're having tea with multiple people, then you can pour tea into each one of their cups from this. But it's also a great way to help the tea cool down because the decanter is is cooler than the apparatus that you're brewing in. So when it enters this, the coolness of the decanter cools down the tea, and the third step, of course, cooling it down further in the cup. I can still smell that creaminess, even though it's the 11th infusion. Let me show you what this looks like. Got my phone here. We're doing high definition here. All right. Take a look here. Those are what the leaves look like when they're fully opened. As you can see, they're very vibrant and green still. They were even more vibrant and green earlier. But if you compare that to what they look like when they're not open, this is what they look like completely dry. Still, you can see that vibrant green. This is just a typical rolled style. So they roll each leaf by hand, and a lot of oolong teas are rolled this way. So the idea is that over time, over the course of 2, 3, 4 infusions, it will open up like that. And the process of it opening up is part of the enjoyment of the tea, of drinking the tea. So it's not just about the flavor of the tea. It's about the entire spectrum of the senses. And you can see here the color. It's just a nice light green here, pale green, kind of like green tea, not too dissimilar from green tea. Oolong tends to be more, milk oolong tea tends to be more on the green tea side. Now, green tea, of course, is completely unoxidized. So green tea is the opposite of black tea in that regard. So when you talk about oolong teas, you often compare that type of oolong to which tea is it closer to? Is it closer to a green, or is it closer to a black tea? Or you can just say light oolongs or dark oolongs, and then you've got oolongs right in the middle. That's where it starts to get really interesting. Beautiful. If you're curious about this tea, you want to give it a taste, check out my website, zenithleaftea.com. I will put a link in the description below. Thanks for watching.